Let's go. So we're going to start with the organs, and one of the first organs we should start with is the gills. Gills are composed, a single gill structure is called a holobranch. It's composed of a pre-traumatic demibranch, and on the other side a post-traumatic demibranch, separated by an interbranchial septum. The entire thing is a holobranch. Okay, cool. What about the heart? The heart is the next thing we have to know. It has a big old ventricle. You can see the coronary arteries on it, a conus arteriosus, and a U-shaped atria right in the back there. It's only got one atria and one ventricle.
Atria?
Atria. And underneath all this, you can see that thing right there is the sinus venosus. It connects to the posterior cardinal sinuses. This big old gray thing is the liver. It has, I believe, left, right, and a medial lobe of the liver, with the medial lobe of the liver having a balloon-like gallbladder in it. Okay, it's got a stomach, which goes through the esophagus, cardia, body, and then pylorus all the way down here. It has a pancreas. Oh, well, let's get the spleen. The spleen is on the stomach, this gray thing. Pancreas is two-lobed. It has a ventral lobe and a dorsal lobe. So the ventral lobe is right there, connected via this thing right here to the dorsal lobe right there. It has a duodenum, which is also known as a spiral organ, with the spiral valves inside of it. The stomach had rugae. I didn't even say that. It's got rugae in it. Moving down here, we have the rectal gland, this little teethy thing right here. And it's also got ovaries. This one does anyway. Here's an ovary. There's a shell gland right there. Oviduct. Uterus. It's also got a kidney.
Where's the uterus?
The uterus is all the way down here. You'll find baby sharks in it often. Got a kidney, which is this thing right here, going along either side of the dorsal aorta. Basically this thing right here. Okay, cool, that's all the organs. Let's go through the arteries and veins. So starting up here at the mouth, we have this one, which is the internal carotid, followed by this one, which is the hyoidean epibranchial. You'll see one often go right here. That's the radix aorta. This one doesn't show it very well. And you have the efferent branchial arteries, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way back. And then this little guy right here, the esophageal, runs it perpendicular to the other ones. Cool. There were the coronary arteries, as we remember, on the heart. Then we're going to go down here to the dorsal aorta. So let's get all of this together so we can actually see it. So this big red one that goes along the center of the body is the dorsal aorta. And the first one to come off is the celiac. This one right here. That's the first thing to come off the dorsal aorta, and it's pretty much the most important. Comes up here, the celiac branches up here into two things. So see here, you can see a branch going that way towards the stomach and that way towards the intestine. This little branch right here, this is gastrohepatic, and it immediately turns into hepatic and gastric on the stomach. So, going this way, this is the pancreatico-mesenteric. It goes down here. Goes down here to this side of the pancreas. Underneath the pancreas, you'll see some other ones. These ones specifically. So there's anterior intestinal going down towards the intestine. You'll see intraintestinal right here going into the intestine. Hold on. It's really hard to see. That one right there would be intraintestinal that goes inside the intestine, and this one right here would be duodenal. Pyloric is really easy. It's that one that goes down the pylorus of the stomach right there. Let's go back to the intestine the way it should look. We have anterior intestinal coming down this way, and then the annular arteries and veins that connect it to the posterior intestinal here. This is what I like to call the triangle. This one's got a really loopy triangle. I'm going to pull it like that so you can sort of see. Oops. Can somebody hold it like that? Thank you. I'm going to pull it like that. And so there's your triangle. Posterior intestinal is this one. There's the posterior intestinal vein and artery together. And then the posterior intestinal vein goes that way. Whereas the posterior intestinal artery goes down there to meet with the dorsal aorta. The other side of the triangle is this one, the gastrosplenic. And then we do the veins, but before we do, we're going to finish the last artery off the dorsal aorta. Connects to the rectal gland back here, the posterior mesenteric.
Oh, what's up, Tom?
Okay, cool. So, the veins now. we have posterior intestinal here and the annular veins, of course. And the posterior intestinal connects here to the spleen. Branches into two. The posterior splenic right here, and then this one that goes along the pancreas, called the lienomesenteric vein. Let me switch it around. See, it goes there to become the lienomesenteric vein. And all of this is moving in this direction. So lienomesenteric comes up here, and then this is pancreaticomesenteric coming off of the anterior intestinal right here, pancreaticomesenteric. And they both meet up here, and they come this way to become the hepatic portal vein.
So the pancreomesenteric is the same vein and artery, right?
Yes, they both run
They
together. Here, this is the lateral abdominal vein, and you'll see here next to the kidney. I'd say that this is probably the renal portal vein running along here. It's just not very well injected. And the kidney has efferent and afferent branchial arteries, efferent and afferent renal arteries and veins inside of it. And then on either side of the dorsal aorta, you will find the left and right posterior cardinal vein. And then coming all the way down here, you will find, that one is broken, but on this side, you will find
Subclavian.
No, it's the left and right posterior cardinal sinus. If I poked all the way down there, it would be the left and right posterior cardinal sinus. But this one has an ovary in the way, so it's kind of hard to see. And the only thing I missed was the bile duct that comes off the median lobe of the liver. But this one doesn't have one looking very good cut there. And that's everything you need to know about the shark.